Hello and welcome to the second hustings of this year's Manchester SU officer elections. I'm Josh Sandiford, Deputy Editor for News and Current Affairs at the Mancunian. I'll be taking over from Tom Grant, and this hustings is for the role of International Officer. Earlier on, we heard from candidates vying to be your next General Secretary. You can watch that back on the Mancunian's Facebook and the SU's Facebook and YouTube channels. Now, onto the hustings. Joining me today are two of the five candidates. We have Kavya Pabisetti, and we also have Sampreet Rangaswamy. Unfortunately, Joanne Corley was unable to attend, but her answers will be played during the live stream. Sadia Tasnim and Raska Mataro were also unable to attend, but you can read their manifestos online. Do bear with us if we have any kind of connection issues. I think Kavya might have a sort of slight slow connection, so you might not see her all the time, but do just bear with us. You know, we're all getting used to this, so fingers crossed it will all be okay. As you all know, the International Officer leads on support and activities for the university's international students. They help to make Manchester a more international university. To begin, each candidate will have 2 minutes to give an introductory speech about themselves and their manifestos. When those 2 minutes are up, I will raise my hand to indicate they should finish at the end of their sentence. First up, we have Kavya.
Well, hello. Good evening for the US from UK, Europe, and good afternoon and perhaps maybe good night from the US from other parts of the world. I'm Kavya Pabisetti, and I'm a student studying economics and finance, and I'm in my penultimate year right now. So being an international student is quite difficult, and no one other than me knows it. And it is basically being enthusiastic about all the things while simultaneously feeling like a fish out of the water and a little homesick. It is difficult, exciting, and very tough to navigate. So there is a reason. This is one of the reasons why I've stood for this position, and also being the current part-time international officer, I know how the SU works and everything. And one of the main reasons why I've stood for it is because how the international students have been treated over the past year, especially relating to the COVID issues. The international students were exploited. I don't think we were able to. We weren't be able. We couldn't see where all our money was going through. There has to be more transparency from the SU, and paying £23,000, which I'm currently paying, and starting from £18,000, it isn't fair on the university to not show us where the amount is, where the investment is going through, because the university did have a profit last year. And apart from that, mental health well-being is very important, not only for international and even home students. And I think international students face something completely different from home students, so it would be beneficial for us international students to have a separate counseling system so that we can address our issues clearly and better. And I would also like to increase my part-time opportunities, which are international student friendly and which do not require many documents within the SU and the university. So I would just like to conclude there, and thank you.
Kavya, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You were under the 2 minutes as well, so I didn't even have to stop you. Next up, we've got Corley, who I said has got a video pre-recorded, so I think we're able to bring that to you now.
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Joanne, and I'm currently running for the position of the international officer. I think as international students, we deserve a bit more better. Sorry, I just
okay.
got sorry.
We can start again.
Can I start?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my microphone is messing up a bit. Let me just adjust it quickly and then.
You sound fine to me. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. All right. Can I start now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Joanna, and I'm currently running for the position of international officer. As an international student myself, I know it can be sometimes overwhelming, moving from one country to the other and then settling in. So I believe that as international students, we need people to represent us. Sometimes we are underrepresented in the society. I believe that when I'm elected, my main priorities will be to ensure that there's more diverse staff in the counseling team, because I realize that with most international students, it's hard for us to come out and open up to people. So I believe if there are more diverse staff in the counseling committee, there would be more chances for us to open up. Sometimes it could be language barriers. Other times it's we not being able to express ourselves, and then at other times as well, it comes as if we don't know how to open up. We see ourselves as being weak. So sometimes we need someone who can take up this position and then help us discuss our issues properly. So more diverse team in the counseling team is my main priority. Secondly, I would want to have a situation where the union as well as the university becomes a better home for us, because sometimes it feels a bit lonely. So coming together and making the union more attractive to international students is one of the things I would want to do.
That was Joanna Corley that you heard from there, who unfortunately cannot be here today. Unfortunately, we also won't be able to hear from Sadia Tasneem or Raska Sotomaro, but you are able to read their manifestos on the SU website. Next up, we want to introduce Sampreet, who is here with us today. Sampreet, you have 2 minutes. Please do tell us a little bit about yourself and your manifesto.
Hi, my name is Sampreet. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm studying MSc in Advanced Engineering Materials. I come from India basically. So as I'm an international student myself, I understand about the hurdles you face in a new country and a different environment. So I would like you to make the most of your time at Manchester without any barriers and irrespective of the situation like a pandemic. So currently, I'm a course rep for my cohort at the University of Manchester and also an RAJCR committee member for my Hall of Residence. As a part of these roles, I'm involved in discussions regarding tuition fee reduction, accommodation rent reduction, face-to-face teaching, and many more. So now I want to take these discussions to the next level. So that's why I'm standing for this position. My goals as an international students officer are reducing the tuition fees, increasing the job opportunities, increasing the scholarships for international students, improving the online learning experience for those who are learning remotely, and to make our campus more international student friendly. So considering my experience and skills, I believe that I'm going to achieve all of these goals, and I'm going to be a great international students officer. So vote for me, I'll work for you, and let's make it happen together. Cheers.
Fantastic, thank you so much, Sampreet. Both of you are very concise today, and not taking up the whole 2 minutes, which which is great. Just to give you guys one more reminder, first of all, you are watching the hustings for the Office of International Students Officer in the Manchester SU elections. We are here with 2 of the 5 candidates, Kavya Pabisetti and Sampreet Rangaswamy. Unfortunately, Joanne Corley, Sadia Tasneem, and Raska Sotomaro aren't here at the moment. Joanna has recorded some answers, so we'll drop those in throughout. Now we've had the opportunity for candidates to introduce themselves and you know who they are, we're going to be moving on to some questions that have been submitted by you guys, the student body. Rather than having 2 minutes, each candidate's going to have 30 seconds to answer. So we'll get through the answers quite quickly and we should make them punchy and snappy. If you do start going over the time, I'll raise my hand, which indicates that time is about to be up. So we're going to start with the main question here. What motivated you to run for international officer? And if we could start with you, Sampreet, that would be great.
Sure. Yeah, actually, I've discussed a lot with my cohort, with my students as a course representative. So they were discussing a lot of problems with respect to tuition fees, teaching, and many more. And I felt like this should be better. You know, we are paying a lot of money here, but which is not worth it. So that is what motivated me, and I'm always passionate about making a difference. So I think this is a time for me to show what I am, and yeah, this is my motivation.
Fantastic, Sampreet. Thank you very much. Snappy answers, as I say, I'm absolutely loving it. Next, let's hear from, why don't we hear from Joanna, who, as we said, isn't here today, but has managed to pre-record her videos. So this is Joanna Corley.
So my main motivation for running this position is having been a student representative and then sitting on staff committee meetings. Most of my course mates, I think majority, 90% of them were international students. And then we had hard times, especially the learning. I think the learning parting is quite different for us and it's a bit of a challenge. And there are other multiple challenges we face as well in terms of learning and then in terms of integrating into the society as well, in the community in general.
Fantastic. That was Joanna Cully, who can't be here today, but has pre-recorded her answers as to why she was motivated to run for international officer. Next up, let's hear from Kavya, who is with us. What was it, Kavya, that motivated you to run for international officer? 30 seconds and it'll be time to wrap up.
Yeah, so I actually, being the current part-time officer, I wanted to give back something worth to the university because I couldn't give that much what I expected to do because of the pandemic and because of my position, because it was part-time. And ECM had been doing wonderful job with the tuition fees as well. So I wanted to do something which would make international students settle in easier, and it has been more evident with the pandemic hitting as we need the university to be more responsible about the international students, and they need to not exploit us, and we actually have to see where our hefty amounts of tuition fees are being spent on. So for more transparency, for an easier settlement, and for a better education system, that's what motivated me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. That's why the candidates are motivated, and that's why they want to run for the position of international officer. Let's move on to the next question. These are now questions that have been submitted by the student body, as I said. And the next question is quite a pertinent one in these times. Students want to know, what are your thoughts on the experiences of international students studying during the pandemic and the support provided by the university during this time? And because you went last time, Kavya, let's start with you. What are your thoughts, and has the university done enough to support students?
Yeah, of course. So I have been studying remotely for the first semester and even currently studying remotely. And one of the main issues is the recording of the lectures. Most of my lectures are either pre-recorded or the live lectures are just held there for question system. I think this needs to be removed, and maybe record the lectures which are given live. And my experience hasn't been that well because the communication has been very bad, at least in the first semester. And I hope it did get better in the second semester, at least for my school. And I hope this is the case for the other faculties as well. But other than that, it wasn't a very good experience also because of the time difference.
That was Kavya on her thoughts on how international students have experienced the pandemic and the support provided by the university. Let's hear from Joanna Corley, who, as I say, hasn't managed to be here but has pre-recorded a video. This is what Joanna thinks international students have been through, and this is if she believes the university has provided enough support or not.
So it's been a tough one for all of us. And I think the university has tried by subsidizing some of the university hall fees as well. But I think it could provide more because some of us weren't able to go back home. Others had to stay. And then taking, for instance, the first year undergraduates, it's hard leaving home and then coming to a university, you don't know anyone. So I think the university could provide more support if the need be.
That was Joanna Corley on the experiences of international students and the support provided by the university. Finally, we're going to hear from Sampreet. Sampreet, what are your thoughts on the experiences, and has the university done enough?
Sure. Yeah, I've heard from a lot of students regarding the mental health. So I think university has not done up to the mark regarding the mental health support. And also, as Kavya mentioned, the lecture videos, they are not they are not very of a very good standard. I think they should have worked a lot more on that. And I think those are the two issues. And I think university should have done much more better.
Thank you so much, Samprit. I appreciate it. That was, I think that's covered everyone now who's here. Just to remind anyone who might be joining us, this is the hustings for the international officer in the Manchester Students' Union elections. We are joined here by Samprit and Kavya. There are a couple of candidates who unfortunately can't make it, but you can read everyone's manifestos on Manchester SU's website, so please do go ahead and do that. At the moment, we're just taking questions from students. We have a couple of questions here, and we're talking to the candidates that are here and the candidates that have left videos. We move on to the issue of Brexit. There was no way we were going to get past an international officer's hustings without mentioning Brexit, and this is the question that students have asked. With the UK now out of the EU, what effects do you think this will have on the international student population and prospective students? Samprit, can I start with you on that one?
Sure, yeah. I think the main thing affected will be the job opportunities, and there are many students who are not willing to come to the UK in the coming year due to this Brexit, and I think the most affected will be the job opportunities due to the Brexit.
Fantastic, Samprit, thank you so much. For anyone who is just joining, you might see me with my hands waving and flapping all over the place. This is to let the candidates know that they've reached the end of their time. We're doing sort of very quick, short, sharp, snappy answers. So if anyone sees me waving my hand, that's the reason behind that. Joanna Corley is another one of our candidates, but she unfortunately can't be here tonight. So she has submitted a pre-recorded video. This is what Joanna thinks about how Brexit will impact international students.
With the UK leaving the EU, I think now it would be more of a good opportunity for international students entering the UK, mainly because of the postgraduate route visa. Now international students would feel they have more time to find more suitable jobs in the UK. So looking at the prospects, I think it's a good venture for international students to move into the UK to study and have the student experience they've all been waiting for.
That was Joanna Corley, who you were hearing from there. She is a candidate for the international officers election. She can't be here tonight, so she has submitted some videos. Finally, let's hear from Kavya. Kavya, with the UK now out of the EU, what impact is it going to have on the international student population and prospective students?
So I don't think it will have a direct effect for the non-EU international students, but it might have the direct effect on the EU students because they will be considered as international with the non-EU students as well. So there will be a lot of uncertainties regarding the visas, and the fees might be the same as the international students of the non-EU, which can be from 18,000 to up to 23,000 So a lot of uncertainties, and of course job opportunities, again visa would be very different for the EU students as well. So that's what.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kavya. So there it is. That's what your international students officers have to say about Brexit and how that's going to affect students. We've just got one more question that's been submitted from students. I'm going to read it out now and I'll see what you guys think. So a lot of students have expressed concern that they are not getting value for money during the pandemic. Students have asked, what is your stance on this? And what is your stance on a full or partial refund of international fees? Kavya, you went last time, 30 seconds. Should students be getting refunds?
Yeah, I completely agree with the students. I think international students do deserve some refund because the education that we received throughout the year wasn't up to par. For example, all I've been having was pre-recorded lectures either from last year or just recorded and then released at one time of the day. And the only live lectures I have is maybe for clarifying doubts and other things. I don't think the university has been efficiently using our international fees because it is a hefty amount, and especially during the pandemic, it is very difficult. So yeah.
Thank you, Kavya. We're talking about student fees. These are your international officer candidates. Of course, international students pay a little bit more than home students do. Samprit, what's your view? Are students due a full or partial refund?
Yeah, obviously they should be refunded, because we know that we are not what we are paying is not worth it. And as I mentioned before, I already had discussions regarding this at department and school levels. Now I want to take it further to university level and beyond, to whatever level possible, and make sure that we will win this at any cost. So I totally agree this. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sampreet. We've just got one more video to show you from Joanna Corley, who is another candidate for the Office of International Officer. Unfortunately, she can't be here this evening, but she has submitted a video, and this is what Joanna says about full or a partial refund of international fees.
So my stand on it is, I think there should be I believe strongly there should be a partial refund for international students, because we are not just coming in as international students. We don't just come to the university to study. It's just to integrate, mix with other people, learn from other cultures. And during this pandemic, we are not having that experience. So it's like taking half of our lives away, if I should put it that way. So I think as a university, there should be in place something to do about the refund, and if possible.
There we are. There is Joanna, who unfortunately cannot be here tonight. That concludes the student questions, and that actually concludes this event and this hustings for the position of international officer. Let me just run you through the candidates one more time. Here with me today, I've got Kavya Pabisetti and Sampreet Rangaswamy. The other candidates for the position of international officer is Joanna Corley, as you just heard from Joanna, who was able to submit her answers, and Sadia Tasneem and Raska Salamataro are also unable to attend, but you can read their manifestos on the website. Would you guys like to say anything more before we wrap up? No. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking part. As I say, to anyone who's watching at home, please do read the full manifestos of the candidates at manchesterstudentsunion.com/elections. It's super important, especially these crazy times we're going through. It's important that we have a team that represents us. So do at least have a look and see what's on offer. Voting opens at 10 a.m. on Monday, the 8th of March. So don't miss the chance to have your say. You'll be able to watch this hustings back on the Mancunian and the SU's Facebook page and on the SU's YouTube channel as well. So you'll be able to see these hustings and a range of others. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, get out and vote.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.